life in the old house was peaceful. Nestled in a quaint neighborhood, it was the perfect retreat from the chaos of the outside world. My days were filled with college lectures, study sessions, and occasional outings with friends. But at the end of it all, I always found solace in the familiar comforts of home. The routine was comforting in its predictability. Each morning, I'd rise with the sun, ready to tackle whatever challenges awaited me at college. The walk to campus was a leisurely affair, the streets still quiet as the world slowly awakened around me. Classes came and went, a blur of lectures and note-taking as I navigated my way through the maze of academia. Despite the occasional stress of exams and deadlines, I thrived in the stimulating environment, eager to absorb as much knowledge as I could. Evenings were reserved for relaxation, a time to unwind and recharge after a long day of learning. Sometimes I'd meet up with friends for dinner or catch a movie at the local theater. But more often than not, I found myself content to simply curl up with a good book or lose myself in the melody of my favorite music. And so the days passed in blissful monotony, each one blending seamlessly into the next. I had grown accustomed to the tranquility of my surroundings, never suspecting that it could be shattered in an instant. It was a night like any other, or so I thought. I had lost track of time in the library, engrossed in a particularly challenging assignment. By the time I emerged, the campus was deserted, the only sound the soft rustle of leaves in the evening breeze. As I made my way home, my mind buzzed with thoughts of deadlines and projects. I barely noticed the darkness creeping in around me, my thoughts consumed by the tasks that lay ahead. But then something caught my eye, a movement in the shadows, a flicker of movement that sent a shiver down my spine. Instinctively, I slowed my pace, my senses on high alert as I scanned the darkness for any sign of danger. And then I saw a figure lurking in the alley, its outline blurred and indistinct in the fading light. At first, I thought it was just a trick of the imagination, a figment of my tired mind. But as I drew closer, I realized with a jolt of fear that it was all too real. The creature was monstrous in size, its form hulking and grotesque against the backdrop of the night. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light as it fixed its gaze upon me, sending a chill racing down my spine. For a moment, we stood locked in a silent standoff, neither daring to make the first move. And then, with a speed that defied comprehension, the creature turned and fled into the darkness, leaving me alone in the night. I stood frozen in place, my mind reeling with shock and disbelief. What had I just witnessed? Was it some kind of elaborate prank, or had I truly come face to face with something beyond my comprehension? Fear clutched at my heart as I struggled to make sense of the encounter. Every rational explanation I could think of fell short in the face of the undeniable truth I had seen something unnatural, something that defied logic and reason. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone, fingers fumbling as I dialed the emergency number. My voice shook as I recounted the events of the night to the dispatcher on the other end of the line, each word tumbling out in a frantic rush. I think I saw something, I stammered, struggling to find the right words to convey the horror of the moment. I don't know what it was, but it was huge, and it looked dangerous. The dispatcher listened patiently, her voice calm and reassuring as she promised to send help right away. But even as I hung up the phone, doubts gnawed at the edges of my mind. Would the police believe me? Or would they dismiss my claims as the ramblings of a tired and overworked college student? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain: my life would never be the same again. As I try to recount the details of the creature I encountered that fateful night, It's as if my memory is playing tricks on me, obscuring the horrifying image with a haze of uncertainty. But some details remain etched in my mind with startling clarity. Firstly, its size. The creature was massive, towering over me with a presence that seemed to fill the entire alleyway. Its silhouette was grotesque and misshapen, with limbs that seemed to bend and contort in unnatural ways. It moved with an unsettling grace, its movements fluid yet disjointed, as if it were not entirely bound by the laws of physics. Its skin, or what I could see of it, was a sickly shade of gray, mottled and rough like the bark of a tree. Strange patterns crisscrossed its surface, resembling the intricate designs of ancient runes etched into stone. And its eyes. Those glowing orbs that seemed to pierce through the darkness with an otherworldly intensity, radiating a sense of malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. But perhaps the most unsettling thing about the creature was its aura of menace, the palpable sense of danger that hung in the air whenever it was near. Even now, as I sit in the safety of my home, I can still feel its presence lingering in the shadows, haunting me with the memory of that fateful encounter. What was it? Where did it come from? These questions plagued my mind, driving me to the brink of madness as I searched for answers that seemed forever out of reach. But one thing is certain: whatever that creature was, it was not of this world, and its presence in our midst bodes ill for us all. In the days that followed, my encounter with the creature became the talk of the town. Rumors spread like wildfire, each retelling more fantastical than the last. Some dismissed it as a mere trick of the imagination, a figment born of exhaustion and fear. Others whispered of ancient legends and dark forces lurking in the shadows. But for me, the truth remained elusive, a puzzle with no solution in sight. The police conducted a thorough investigation, scouring the alleyway for any evidence of the creature's existence. But their efforts yielded nothing, leaving me feeling more isolated and alone than ever before. Haunted by the memory of that night, I found myself unable to sleep, tormented by nightmares of monstrous shapes and glowing eyes. Everywhere I went, I felt the weight of those unseen eyes upon me, watching and waiting with a patience that bordered on the edge of madness. And then, just when I thought I could bear it no longer, a breakthrough came, a glimmer of hope in the darkness. A group of researchers reached out to me, claiming to have uncovered evidence of similar sightings in other parts of the world. They spoke of ancient texts and forbidden knowledge, hinting at a truth too terrible to comprehend. But as we delved deeper into the creature's past, we uncovered a truth too terrible to comprehend, a truth that threatened to consume us all. For the creature was not a mere anomaly or freak of nature, but a harbinger of something far more sinister, a darkness that had lurked in the shadows since the dawn of time. In the end, I realized that some secrets are best left buried, some truths best left undiscovered. And so, with a heavy heart and a sense of resignation, I turned my back on the world of the unknown, content to leave the mysteries of the universe to those better equipped to understand them. But even now, as I sit alone in the quiet solitude of my home, I cannot shake the feeling that the creature still watches, its eyes glowing with a malevolence that defies comprehension. And I wonder, will we ever truly be safe from the darkness that lurks in the shadows? Or are we destined to be its unwitting victims, forever trapped in a world of fear and uncertainty?